Yes, Coach. I'm just wondering if there's any substance on this earth that you do not consider edible or that you would not shove into your gaping maw.
Not too much, no.
But, Coach, we've heard a lot of complaints from players and from the sidelines in general of your tremendous flatulence problem. And I'm just wondering if that will dissuade you from your pregame practice of eating up to 25 pounds of gin-soaked pork loins.
I don't think so.
But what about the flatulence issue, Coach?
You know, that should kind of quiet down.
Yeah, Coach, we know that you have come out recently and declared what you term your lust-fueled man love for Terrell Owens. Is Owens truly the love of your life?
He really is. He really is.
But, Coach, we've heard reports of what's been called a lover's spat last weekend between you and Terrell Owens. It's involving you coming to Terrell's home with a batch of cupcakes that you apparently had just made and baked for him. And then you found him covered in butterscotch and defiling a live goat. Can you elaborate on this at all?
You know, what happened there last weekend was, it really was a kind of a fluke set of circumstances.
But, Coach, we've heard that your inability to pleasure Owens physically has led to his dissatisfaction with this relationship, often resulting in him forcing you to dress up in frilly 18th century nightgowns in public, and him beating you about the man breasts quite often. What can you say about that? Why would this man who supposedly is in love with you do something like this to you, Coach?
It's just the same thing as trying to create a little mental toughness so that when the time comes to perform, that some of the things that are happening to us can be avoided. And that's really a concentration thing.
Yes, Coach, that's interesting because Owens has, as you know, taken public swipes at you for what he terms concentration lapses in the two of you physically consummating your unnatural union.
Most of the time that the concentration lapses occurs when you're under duress or you're fatigued, or those kind of things are what sometimes contribute. And that's when the mental toughness comes in, as far as being able to think through the process while you're under duress.
And, Coach, when you say under duress, are we correct in assuming that you are referring to Owens' practice of threatening you with a cattle prod if you do not perform completely to his satisfaction?
It's...
So, Coach, basically you're confirming here that if one were to look at a chart of Terrell Owens' sexual preferences, at the top of that chart would be woodland creatures, and beneath that would be human males.
And it's not even close.
But, Coach, this is the man that you just referred to as the love of your life. Isn't it frustrating for you to take a back seat, if you'll pardon the pun, to a gopher or a groundhog or a hellgrammite, a gibbon, a tree sloth, rodents, goats, creatures of that nature, when it comes to the physical aspects of your relationship?
Yeah, it's frustrating, but hey, look, it's what it is right now. So we got to move on from there, and that's what we're going to try and do.
And, Coach, if you indulge me with one more question on this subject, despite the bizarre nature of this relationship, you are on record as saying that the man bond between you and Owens is, and I quote, the most inspirational force I've ever felt. It's like a demented bull elephant battering my lower haunches. That man bond that you talk about, Coach, is that something that you feel that you and Owens need to nurture if you're going to make this relationship work?
That's what I think we have to be more cognizant of and pay more attention to.
And if you don't?
And if we don't, we'll keep doing the same thing. It's like habitual.
And, Coach, will you be performing sexual abominations with Owens tomorrow before practice?
Yeah, we'll do something tomorrow. Just trying to give him a little more time to kind of rest up.
Will animals be a part of those acts, Coach?
You know, we have to do a little of both. It's a man-to-man, too.
Coach, some of these sexually deviant activities that we've talked about here regarding you and Terrell Owens, Would you say that Jerry Jones and every member of the Dallas Cowboys team is also totally consumed 24/7, 52, 365 with thoughts of sexual perversions?
There's nothing else on their mind but that.
It's funny that you say that, Coach, because in talking with other people around the team, we've learned that there is a certain sexual hierarchy among the Cowboys, much like in a prison, where older players will come to possess younger players as their property, especially during road trips. In fact, we've heard that you have a term for relations with each other among the team, and you call that rotating someone. If you're going to be with them sexually, you say that you are rotating them. Coach, we've also heard that Ellis, DeMarcus Ware, and even Barber are part of your man harem that you bring with you on road trips. Have you rotated them frequently, Coach?
I don't think I'm really rotating Ellis and Ware enough. I think we got to do that maybe a little bit more. Maybe Barber as well.
Now, Coach, we know that Terrell Owens is your main partner, but we've also come to understand that you have free reign to have relations with every member of the Dallas Cowboys organization. Aren't you worried about petty jealousies or things of that nature with so many partners?
You know, everybody drops them, but, you know, you just hope it doesn't get to be problematic.
And, Coach, we've also heard from other players that after a game, when they are showering in large groups, that you really enjoy basically charging into them on all fours and squealing like a swine and ramming your immense girth into 3 or 4 of them at the same time. I'm just wondering what this accomplishes, Coach.
That jars their body to the point where their heads and the ball kind of gets out of focus for you.
Coach, we've heard that you have actually given Terry Glenn some pointers in this area, and that you have told him to, quote, stay on your toes when engaging in sexual perversions to increase stamina and heighten enjoyment. Is that true?
That's a little something I mentioned. I know I mentioned that to Terry several years ago, and to try to stay up on his toes because he's telling the ball bouncing. I said, well, yeah, that's because you're not on your toes.
Turning to Jerry Jones for a moment, it's pretty well understood by biblical scholars that he is, in fact, the Antichrist that was spoken of in the book of Revelations in the Bible.
So,
well, it's also been reported, Coach, that Jones's head is in the latter stages of rejecting the many, many facelifts that he has had over the course of the last several years. And in fact, doctors have told him that if he does not have a full facial transplant in the very near future, he faces what they call the certainty of spontaneous cranial combustion. Coach, is it going to be possible for Jones to get his face back to anything remotely resembling a human state?
It's possible to do it, but you know, we're kind of running out of time. We gotta get on it.
Now, Coach, be honest with us here. Your DVD that you are selling on television, Backyard Drills with Bill Parcells, that doesn't really have anything to do with football now, does it?
Not too much, no.
So when you say on the commercial that you want to build confidence in young men as a result of this DVD...
That's really not the truth.
Okay, so what is the real purpose behind Backyard Drills with Bill Parcells? Coach, is there anything at all that you have to say that's good about the Dallas Cowboys organization and their fan base? Seriously, Coach, can you just think of one good thing to say about the Cowboys and their fans? Nothing?
I mean, I can't think of anything.
Okay, Coach, one final question. Can you make a face that demonstrates your current level of sanity? One more time, please. Can we see that over here, Coach? Thanks, Coach. Thank you, Coach.